Destiny 1.
Correct. All right.
This is worse than Kingdom Hearts. As far as, like, the amount of backstory shit you have to know in order to, like, play one game.
I mean, you don't need to know any of
Yeah.
this. Like that's absolutely not. But and there's some things that I'm not mentioning because honestly, it doesn't matter to play the game. Like, sure, there's some cool lore, but nobody needs it. If you want that, there's a guy named Bife who has a 4-hour video that is the complete story of Destiny.
So he's Vati Video, but for Destiny.
Yeah. He is the lore master for Destiny, and he gets some things wrong, and I laugh at him. So, Destiny. So, long time later, all the things that we've mentioned in the last episode happened. A random ghost is flying around in the ruins looking for a new guardian. They need to find a body that they can look into its past and its future or whatever and see if it's right for being a guardian. And it finds you. And you arise in the Cosmodrome, which is a shipyard in old Russia, where they shot out a lot of those ships to fight the darkness and to terraform new planets. And you fight the Fallen and Hive in the Cosmodrome, and eventually you get back to the last city. And once you get there, you know, there's some other problems. You got to go back and kill some more Fallen. You've got to you find out that the darkness is returning because the speaker has heard it from the traveler, who apparently isn't as dead as we thought. You find that the Hive, who were beaten back to the moon, have returned to Earth to prepare for an invasion, so that's not cool. You find that Rasputin has survived somehow. And you go to the moon, and
even though that's illegal,
find out, even though that's, oh, you break the rules all the time. And you find out that the Hive are trying to drain the Traveler of its light, because it's got a little bit of light still in there. It's got a little beacon that's keeping it from being fully dead. They also meet a mysterious stranger who like teleports around and knows things before they're supposed to happen, or before they happen. Who tells them to go on to Venus, and they go to Venus, and you find the Vex. This is the first time Guardians have encountered the Vex, really, and the stranger tells you that the Vex have a darkness, a black heart, which is a darkness entity that is eating the Traveler, and they need to kill it, obviously. So there's this place that is nobody really knows exactly where it is in the universe, but it has, like, the Vex can connect portals to it, and it's called the Black Garden. And we think it's basically like the Garden of Eden. It's the place where the gardener and the thresher were doing stuff, and the Vex were born. But in there's this, the heart at the center of the garden is eating the Traveler. So, can you guess what we do?
You kill it.
Yeah, we kill it. after fighting the Cabal and Vex and other things. But you know, it's great. You kill this heart. You have now saved the Traveler, and it begins to heal. It begins to finally, after all this time, start putting itself back together.
What? I'm immediately suspicious.
Don't be. Well, I know we're talking about Destiny 1, but the Traveler is evil line of thought stopped a while back.
Oh no, like I wasn't even thinking that it was evil. I was really thinking more of like, oh, it's starting to heal. So who attacks us next?
Yeah. Well, remember when I mentioned that there was the Hive Prince Crota?
No.
Who ate a bunch of Guardians on the moon?
Don't remember that.
Cool.
I didn't write it down because it didn't sound important.
That's fine. Well, one of the people who went up there to kill Crota is kind of pissed that she didn't succeed. In fact, she lost her eyesight in the process. So her name is Eris, and you can draw her face. She's got 3 eyes now because she stole one from one of the hives.
So she's blind, but she has 3 eyes?
Yeah, so they don't work like normal eyes, but they work close enough.
It's not really how that works, but... Oh, she's just... Oh, okay, hold on. Yeah, let me...
So,
oh, what is his
Eris...
name? No, hold on, I have to get a picture of her.
I know, but while you're doing that, I can keep talking. Eris wants you to come and help kill Crota. So she gets a bunch of you get a bunch of people together. You kill some hive on Earth, and then you go. Yeah, no, perfect. Yeah. I was hoping you would get like him or one of the 16 other people I could think of that had 3 eyes.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember his name because it's boring, and I've never played this game. So I literally typed in Tom Clancy Game Pro Tag into Google, and he's the first image. The one I grabbed is the second image, but the fact that I found Splinter Cell stuff from that, I was just like...
Yeah. So, you go down, and you kill all of Crota's bad generals and stuff, and you go after him, and he's invincible, but he's got this sword that he uses, and you steal it, and you use it to hit him, and turns out he carries his weapon, his own weakness, with him. What a surprise. That's not been done before.
You mean in every Legend of Zelda game?
Yeah. So, so you kill Crota. Yay! You're now safe, except there's still like millions of hive dug into the moon. Millions of moons. But meanwhile, the Fallen have they were subjugated by the Awoken at one point, or some of them were. They have a bunch of different houses. This one particular big house was subjugated by the Awoken, and they decided, nah, they don't want to do that.
What, to be slaves?
Well, they weren't slaves. They were just, you know, they had to fight for her when she said, and they had to not go around eating babies. So, I mean, I guess
it's a hard ask.
Consider that, yeah, if you want to consider that slavery and pretty harsh, then you do you. But they kind of crown a new leader who just declares himself basically the King of Kings, or Kell of Kells. A Kell of a house is the leader of it, and he tries to unite all the Fallen.
So what was his name?
Skolas. Skolas. So he goes after the Awoken to try and kill them off so that he can go Skeletor.
I mean, you missed my description of the Vex earlier, where I just called it Vex Mommy Milkers instead of milk.
Vex Mommy Milkers. Okay, gross. So they go to they start fighting against the Awoken, and the Awoken Queen Mara Sov, who a lot of people really like her.
You said, what's her name?
Mara Sov. M-A-R-A space S-O-V. Sov is her last name. So, she's kind of hot. But she's the queen of the Awoken, and she basically calls all the Guardians to her and is like, hey, you know, we'll give you our really valuable equipment and technology if you help us. So, I mean, of course, she's really hot and scoliosis.
Alright, what does she do?
So...
You said she, like, raises an army with who?
Us. Yeah, she calls us to fight against them. And, one of her helpers is a fallen named Varix, V-A-R-I-K-S. Varix is loyal to her, and you're exactly right.
I mean, I know about Resident Evil 8.
Yeah. So we go after her or him, Scoliosis, and he tries to steal some Vex stuff, and we have to stop him, and we do, and we send him to a place called the Prison of Elders. It is the Awoken Supermax prison, and Varix is put in charge of it. And
you say, what was the prison called? Prison of
Elders.
So it's just a senior citizen home.
And Varix is put in charge of it, and that's mildly important for later. So, you know, that was cool, that was fun, that happened. Where all is safe in the universe, except Crota is a prince, which means he's got a daddy, and Daddy Oryx shows up to...
I mean, not all princes have dads.
Most of them do, though.
Have you ever seen a Disney movie?
Fair. So Oryx is the Taken King. So what happened with him is he is one of the original 3 hive that went and got worms. And so their worms were the biggest worms. They were the strongest.
This is the dumbest description of anything I've ever heard in my life.
You know, you're not wrong. And he got really powerful, but he decided he wanted more, and he went to his worm and said, hey, worm, give me more power. And the worm said, no, I can't give you power, you have to take power. And so he...
So does he get a second worm?
No, he murdered his worm, and because of that, he learned the power to take. So, taking is a darkness power where you basically remove a creature's will entirely and give it over to the darkness.
Is that what happened to Padme?
Yes, correct. No.
I mean,
so
she lost the will.
They become mindless shells that gain other powers from the darkness and are controlled by the darkness and the Taken King, which in this case is Oryx. So he comes with his army, the Taken, and the Awoken show up to try and stop him. They've got a big fleet. They've got all their fancy ships. They've got a lot of fallen ships too, because, you know, they got them fighting for them too. And he wipes them all out, like in one shot with his...
You said who tries to fight him?
The Awoken. So, and Mara disappears. She was in that, and she dies for sure. So, you know, that's not cool. We need to stop this guy before he kills us all. And we go and we fight Oryx, but Oryx is so powerful that he has created a secondary universe to house his soul, a throne world. So he's killed so many things that with that power, he is used to carve another dimension that he keeps his soul in. So if you kill him, it doesn't matter because you just destroyed his body. The Hive can do space magic. And
I know what a
stuff
lich
and
is.
Wish him back to life.
I know what a lich is.
Yeah.
He's just a space lich.
Yeah. So, like, you know, so long as there are other Hive, they can wish him back into existence and he'll be back.
How do they wish? Never. Just go on.
Remember, they're paracausal.
That means nothing.
So to stop him, we have to be able to go into his throne world and kill him there, so that, you know, he's dead. D-E-D, dead. But we can't just, you know, go there. We don't have the ability to do that. But we do know that there is this sword that can cut things that really shouldn't be cut.
Does it cut cause and effect?
No, but, like, it can create a trail. So, like, if you cut him real bad, he can, like, cut a bleeding trail that leads through dimensions, and you can follow that. Hand waving. We're just gonna move past that.
Alright, cool. Follow the sword.
So we go back to Crota, we get his sword again, we fight a bunch of people around there, then we go back and we
Wait, I
kill
thought
Oryx.
Crota was in senior citizen jail.
No, Crota's dead. You're thinking of Scoliosis.
Oh, that's right.
So we go back, we get the sword, we come back, we kill Oryx. Yay! Oryx is dead. The Hive are definitely not a problem anymore. Oh wait, he has two sisters, but let's not worry about them for now. And then there's a story that doesn't actually matter. Do you want me to say it?
No, I'm just gonna...
So one of the Iron Lords is sad because his girlfriend died because Rasputin killed her, and because Rasputin was mad that his son, who he created, who is a version of himself, who became a guardian, decided to be good for humanity and not come back to him. He has this weird god complex that you know, not cool. Yeah. And that's Destiny. Yay, it's over. All right, let's start Destiny 2. So Destiny 2 pretty much picks up at the end of Destiny 1. You've destroyed the Hive in the system. They're still on the moon, and there's still like little pockets of them in other places. The Fallen are basically, you know, they're not a big threat anymore. In fact, like most of their houses have fallen apart completely, and they're just under one big umbrella of the House of Dusk that can't get around to doing anything. The Vex, they're doing their own thing. The people we haven't talked about yet, really, are the Cabal. So we make our way back to the tower from a mission of some sort, and right then, a giant fleet, the largest of the legions of Cabal, the Red Legion, shows up right above the last city. They knocked out all of our communications and stuff, and we're dumb and we didn't notice. And that's pretty much the actual way that it works. Like, it starts off and they're like, hey.
Sorry, I zoned out completely for like an entire sentence. You said the Cabal does what?
They show up at the last city.
Ah.
They knock out our communications so that they can just sneak in with the biggest fleet that's been seen in our solar system. Because we're stupid. That's actually the story. So they are a war culture. That's all they do.
Hey, John.
So they... Go ahead.
Every single place that people that you have talked about is a war culture.
Nah, the Vex aren't war culture. They just want to understand things and occasionally wipe things out if they are scared of them.
You literally said they control people to take over places. Literally, Bungie only knows how to make war cultures.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. So they kick our asses. They like the only thing we could do at this point is just evacuate the city. And while we're doing that and fighting against them, we get flown up to the command ship because, you know, hey, we're this awesome guardian who's killed literal gods before. We should be able to do something about this guy. He's just an ordinary space rhino.
Yeah, so we have all of our gear from the first game, right?
Yeah, well...
And our power level is still the same? We didn't get Metroided or anything?
Okay. Yeah, moving on.
Wow, seems like we're not that awesome, huh?
We had all our inventory. It was in the armory, but unfortunately we were on the opposite side of the tower, so like we couldn't get to that in time. You know, there's more important things like, you know, everyone dying. So we go up to take out the boss of this legion so that we can, you know, hopefully stop things before it happens. But pretty much right as we get there, they have designed a special ship to basically cover the entirety of the Traveler. It's got this netting that goes around it, and it locks off the light. So all Guardians lose their light.
Oh, so we all die?
Instantly. No, because we're still alive. We still have like the little bit of light inside.
Because I thought you said when people take our light away, we die, but I guess that's different now.
We lose access to the source, but it's not like sucked out of us.
Oh, okay. So we go to level 1.
Yeah. We can't do any fancy space magic, but we're not dead. But, you know, now that we can't do any fancy space magic, and we can't be brought back to life if we do die, because there's not enough space magic to do that, a lot of Guardians get killed. And we are definitely on the back foot. You know, are running as fast as possible.
So do you respawn in this game when you die?
At this point, no.
Oh, what? So if you die, you just have to delete your character and start over?
No, you just can't die at this point. Like, there's nothing that would kill you. They do a pretty good job at
So even if you just AFK, you just can't die?
Yeah.
Okay, well then I guess everyone else sucks but the Guardians.
I mean, you know, whatever. So we start following. We leave the city. We just start moving out towards, you know, safety. And we find a group of humans that had created a shelter and a secondary base. So we go with them. It's in the European Dead Zone. So, you know, it's past the collapse. There's been nuclear incidents all over the place, and the darkness screwed stuff up. So this is Eastern Europe somewhere. You know, people don't really have maps of what things were originally called. They just call these things new names. And over there is a shell of the Traveler from when the Traveler was fighting the darkness. It knocked off a piece of the Traveler, and it's there.
He couldn't repair that piece?
No, because it was like way on the other side of the world.
So he repaired a bunch of other pieces.
And you go to it because for some reason you feel drawn to it, and when you touch the shell, you are actually gifted back your light from this shard. And my favorite line that was ripped from the game is this:
"Twinkle, twinkle, assholes."
Who says that?
That's your ghost.
Okay.
So you get your light back, and a bunch of Fallen show up to kill you. And you're like, aha! Suck it! So, you are now the only Guardian who has light. And because of that, you can now go out and actually do things and save people. But everyone else is still lightless and weak. So the Vanguard's all split up. You don't know where everyone is. You get a message that the leader of the Vanguard, Vuvuzela, sorry, Zavala's his name, but I can't call him anything but Vuvuzela. He's the leader of the Vanguard, and he's on Titan. He's gone there to bring everyone together in one location. And he's getting hurt because the Hive are there as well, and they're whooping his ass because, hey, they didn't have their powers ripped from them. So, you take a trip to Titan, you join up with him, you make an area safe enough for them to basically patrol themselves. And he tells you that, you know, he needs more information on what's going on. So he needs the rest of his crew, the rest of his Vanguard. So first he sends you off after the Hunter Vanguard. So Vuvuzela is the Titan Vanguard, and he sends you after the Hunter Vanguard, Cade 6. So Cade 6 was everyone's favorite character from the first game. So we go, he's on a microplanet called Nessus. It's a centaur.
On Nessus?
Yes. Nessus. So you go there because that's where his beacon is showing as being from, and his ship crashed there. And it's a Vex planet. And he was looking to find some fancy Vex tech to help him defeat the big bad space rhino. So you go, you help him, you get the tech, and you need to find the third person, Ikora, who is the Warlock Vanguard. And she's all sad and mopey because she lost her light, and she's this super she's a warlock, so she's really in tune with the light, so to have it ripped from her really hurts. She's all moping on Io, which is one of the moons of Jupiter, and it was the last place that the Traveler actually touched to terraform it. So it's kind of half terraformed, but you know, it's a place of special importance. And you go there and you cheer her up by finding out that while you're there, you find out that the Cabal have brought a super weapon to the solar system. It's a ship called the Almighty. And basically what it does is it sucks up, it sits close to the sun. It sucks up sun stuff to eat another planet to turn its crust and minerals and stuff into more war machines. And then when it's done, it supernovas the sun and everything, and it dies.
So it's just the Death Star.
It's the Death Star. After this many years of science fiction in the world, it's hard to come up with anything new.
I don't think that's true.
Bungie never promises that it will.
Yeah, I think Bungie has promised several times that they don't. What if you just what if they created one race that wasn't warlords?
No. No. So you gotta go stop the Almighty, and you jump on board the ship, and you go through, and you
and you go down the trenches and drop a photon torpedo.
Yeah, basically. So you take out the Almighty, and now it's time. You go and you take out, or you go to fight the big bad space rhino, who his name is Dominus Gall, and they've perfected a system which will actually, using the machine that's covering the Traveler, infuse light into him, giving him guardian powers. So he's now got this amazing power, and you have to fight him. And right as you are, you kill him, he's dead. He turns into, you know, like a ghost of himself made of light, and he starts to revive himself.
What?
Which means at this point that, you know, because he now has the light. So he's technically immortal, like we are.
But we're only immortal if we have a ghost.
Yes, but his ghost is now technically the Traveler itself.
But the Traveler doesn't work like
power. That. So at this point, the Traveler itself uses its own power to break out of its shell, and with just the sheer amount of light involved, kind of overloads Gall and wipes him from existence. So the Traveler's now fully awake, fully alive. It's got its light, it's in charge, it's killed the guy, and this beam of light that it shoots out starts expanding throughout, you know, the galaxy, because, you know, it's, of course. So it washes out throughout the galaxy, and it starts notifying other creatures that, hey, this is a thing that's happened. So for instance, now the Vex know that the Traveler is awake, and they start changing their calculations of what's going to happen in the future to see if they can make their own thing happen.
Why did it tell everyone that it's awake? That seems like a bad idea.
It was its only recourse, was to just send out this burst of light, and it's just a secondary. Well, otherwise Gall was going to come back to life and kill us.
But it had to use a beam of light to do it?
Yeah, well, it's kind of its only thing.
And this beam of light could be seen from everywhere in the universe?
Yes.
So it's just Star Wars again.
It's not everywhere in the universe at once, though. So it's got that going for it. It is just an expanding sphere of light.
Oh, so I thought it was a beam.
Now, Well, I mean, it's a beam in all directions.
What?
Uh,
What? Why? Gull was only in one spot. Why did it have to shoot the entire universe? Why did no one else die?
sphere. It doesn't have, like, laser emitters to pinpoint accuracy.
Well, then how did no one else die?
Because we weren't beings made purely of light at that instant.
What about aren't ghosts?
No, no more whatabouts. So one of the other creatures that now it hits Mars, and there's
yeah, John, it hits everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sphere.
It hits Mars, and there are some hive hidden on Mars that are now aware that the Traveler's back, and they start tunneling to the surface. And it goes further out into...
Wait, who are they? Hive?
Yeah, Hive. And it goes further out into the solar system, or into the galaxy, and it hits a fleet of darkness pyramid ships. So now the darkness knows that it's back. And they start turning on their engines and lights and start flying towards...
What, they were only going to try to take over the world if the Traveler exists?
It doesn't care about Earth. It cares about the Traveler.
So
it wants to destroy what the Traveler has done.
So it's just... Okay, hold on. I don't have one for the darkness, unfortunately, like a layer for the darkness. So I'm just gonna write the darkness is the Traveler's bitter X.
Yeah, no, that's accurate. All right.
This game sucks.
We got a lot to cover and a little time to do it.
What? There's more?
Yeah, that was Destiny 2, the base game.
Okay, well, that's a good bit still.
We're 4 games or 4 expansions in at this point. So, covering the important bits, the Vex now are working to change the future so that they can kill all of the Guardians and destroy the Traveler. And they've got this.
But they're not a war culture.
No, well, I mean the Traveler is pretty much the only thing that could stop them, so they want it gone.
So they're not a war culture; they just want to kill everyone. Okay, got it.
No, they just want to kill the Traveler and us because we can change things and they can't.
Why can we change things?
That they can't, because we're paracausal.
Yeah, but there's like 3 other people who are paracausal.
No, only one other person.
For now.
It's only us and the Hive.
Yeah.
Technically the darkness, but the darkness is kind of synonymous with the Hive in some way.
What?
Anyways, the Hive get their powers from the darkness, so just like we get our powers from the Traveler.
So why don't that? Okay, never mind. Go on.
So, the Vex have converted Mercury into a supercomputer to predict the future, and
so it's just just Hitchhiker's Guide.
So
is this
we
Venus?
go there and we have to destroy the Vex there. There's a Vex supermind that's got everything figured out, and we go and we kill it at the end.
Aren't they all superminds?
Well, I mean, there's like the ones that are just little robots that build things, and then there's the ones that are...
So they're drones, and there are
simulations.
Ones with thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, they all are a hive mind, but it's the big ones that actually have the machinery and power and brainwaves to actually put things into motion. So we beat them at the end. Mars, those hives show up, and they go after killing everything that's there, including Rasputin. That's where Rasputin actually is on Mars.
So he finally shows up, and then you just kill him?
So we go to help Rasputin because Rasputin's still got powers and technology that we don't have access to, and we could really use that versus all the bad things that are coming against us. So we end up killing one of the hive god worms, so that's cool. Moving on from that. I hope you're treating this like the JoJo, the like Stardust Crusaders, where it's like, so there was an ape and he had a boat at the end. So
Yeah.
there was.
Yeah, basically.
And then some of the people, the fallen that had been captured in the past, broke out of the prison of elders. So there's an active prison break in the prison of elders, and Cade 6, the Hunter Vanguard, asks us to come help. So we go with him and some other Awoken to put down this insurrection within the prison, and we're mostly successful. But while we're there, Cade gets separated, and while he's separated,
He dies. Got it.
The Scorn are a new race that really doesn't matter much. Basically, they're fallen zombies. Moving on. So, fallen zombies, the Scorn, and the daughter, or not the daughter, the son, or brother? Brother. The younger brother of Marasov, the sexy lady, sexy Awoken lady, are all in the prison. And they want to get out because Uldren's done some bad things. So they are stopped by Cade, and they fight against each other. Cade pulls out his ghost to give himself a burst of healing because he always likes to do things flashy. Bang! Ghost is gone. And then he really doesn't have the necessary power to fight against everything else.
Or doesn't he die?
And Uldren kills him. The ghost being gone doesn't kill him. It just means that he can't come back to life. Yeah.
Why was he everyone's favorite character? He's dumb as shit.
He's really funny.
Yeah, but he's a dumbass. Granted, that's all of the good characters.
So Cade's dead, and Uldren's now building up an army of Scorn and taking out Awoken and other people. And so we go on a run of vengeance, and we take out all the Scorn, and we go after Uldren. Uldren's acting a little strange, though. And it turns out that he is kind of mind-controlled by one of the hive gods. One of the two remaining sisters that are the like, top of the line hive gods. And he leads them to the Dreaming City, which is a secret Awoken world, I guess. I don't know how to.
Is this Scoliosis' sister?
No.
But we sent him to the senior citizen home. He has two
yeah.
sisters.
No, this is Oryx's sister.
Oh, that's right. Oryx is the one with. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this is Onyx's sister.
Did Scoliosis break out?
Nah, Scoliosis is dead.
What? But he went to the prison.
Yeah. Well, we killed him.
Did he try to break out?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was like a mini thing in D1. Like if you wanted to, you could just go there and kill him and you get loot. Stuff.
Okay.
So one of the small things. So yeah, he's mind controlled by Oryx's sister, and he leads them to the Dreaming City, which is the kind of this side of the universe's home of the Awoken. And she uses some hive magic to make time repeat itself there. And so she gets to kind of cheat on her worm. Because she has hive there fighting, and the hive fight, and every 3 weeks after they've killed everything, and they've killed things, and they tithe some of their kills up to their higher ups, and so on and so forth. So she gets some without having to actually do anything. Every 3 weeks, everything restarts, and so all the things that were killed come back, and they get to fight again. So she doesn't have to worry too much about
that. Doesn't sound like time magic. That just sounds like resurrection.
It is time magic, because, like, everything resets.
Does time go back?
Yeah.
So, by the time you get there, this has happened infinite... So that it doesn't.
I mean, it's only in this one location that it's locked into.
So by the time you get there, as long as the first 3 weeks have happened, then it will have happened infinitely.
I guess.
So, what?
I'm not really.
So she's like
seeing
all powerful.
I mean, at this point, it's it's not like enough for her to like gain immense power. This is just a resting.
Okay, so she's not doing this to gain power. She's literally just chilling.
Yeah. She's using her time otherwise to plot things and plan things.
So, hold on. So there's a person who has an evil worm that tells them they have to kill stuff, and thus they become warlords. This one girl goes, what if I use time magic to make it so this group of people die over and over and over and over again without me having to kill more people? And we were like, we should kill that person. That person that's taken their warlord culture and made it okay? Let's go kill that bitch.
Okay, so 2 things. One, people are still dying. I mean, they come back, but they live a horrible life where they just die.
Well, whatever. They don't know that. They don't remember it all those times. It's the most.
They do, unfortunately.
What? Then it's not time magic. I hate this. They were just like,
thing, we're not actively trying to kill her because she's not in our solar system or anything. Like, if she showed up, it would probably be for nefarious reasons, so we'd kill her. But, you know, it's not like we're hunting her down right now. Also, she's using all of her free time to come up with other horrible things to do to us.
Maybe she's like, she sounds pretty lazy, so maybe she just won't ever do any of them. Like I daydream.
So, you know.
Is this Orc's sister?
Yes. So we go and we kill Aldrin. So he's dead now. And then let's see what else matters. Pretty much nothing else matters for the rest of that year. So moving on to the next year, we find out that the darkness that we had fought before have hidden a ship on the moon. And the Hive are doing all sorts of weird things with it, using its power to bring back nightmares and which are reanimated energy versions of previous enemies and stuff. So, you know, not cool, because they bring back Gaul, so you have to fight Gaul again. They bring back the leader of the Scorn, so you have to kill him again. You know, they bring back Crota, so you have to kill him again. And eventually you go in, you're able to get access to the Darkness Pyramid. And they tell you that, don't worry, they're coming. They'll be there within a year.
The darkness?
Yep. So the darkness is coming back. You know, meanwhile, the Vex are fighting, and we have to go back inside the Black Garden and kill off a bunch of them. And there's a group of Cabal that are pissed off and that they've lost every fight, so they find a way to use that Mercury supercomputer to change time in the past so that they won the Red War, the Dominus Gaul War, so that they'll now be rulers of the universe, but we stopped them. They throw the Almighty at us, so
I thought we destroyed the Almighty.
No, we stopped it. We disabled it. We didn't destroy it.
Oh, well, that's on us.
Yeah.
We should have done that.
I agree.
I mean, I guess we also should have looked at the sky so that we didn't get attacked that one time, but like...
Yeah. We're pretty pressed from attack, like, constantly, so, you know, it's understandable if one or two things gets by, but maybe the one where our only city is attacked by the largest battle fleet in the universe. Yeah. Maybe.
And maybe when you turn off the Death Star, you should destroy it before it turns back on.
Yeah. So it comes after they try and throw it because like it's still disabled. They can't fix it. They don't have enough time for that. We'd go back in there and we'd just shut it down again. So they disable the controls after pushing it towards Earth. So now it's just gonna hit us. And basically blow apart half the planet because it's really big. So we help Rasputin. Rasputin uses all of his weapons and he blows it up. That's cool. And the darkness shows up. And we're like, cool. We got these people. We got Rasputin's our friend now. He's got all these powers. We've got...
do they all betray us?
The Awoken are here. Marasov's apparently alive again. She's helping us way out in the middle of nowhere. And Rasputin uses like every weapon in our galaxy to shoot against one of these ships, and the darkness is basically like, nah. And so Rasputin like shuts himself down. He's like, nope, I'm out of here.
I want you to know I just looked up Marasov because I was curious to see what she looked, and I typed in Marasov, and the top results for Google were Marasov, Destiny 2, Marasov body pillow, and I was just like, like that was the autofill, and I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Yep, correct. Marasov body pillow is the correct answer.
Yeah, that's above voice actor.
Yeah.
I can't believe feet isn't one of the autofills.
Oh wow, I'm surprised it's not. You're right. So the darkness shows up, but it doesn't immediately kill us all. This time it tries to use more nefarious ways. It tries to like worm its way into our minds.
So it's just like, well, the thing that I did last time worked really well, so I should try something different.
Well, I mean, it worked, but it didn't, because, you know,
it
Traveler
worked,
survived.
Yeah, but, like, just kill the Traveler first.
So, it tries bringing other creatures to its, side. And that's where we started the most recent expansion, where a group of Fallen commune with the darkness, and they gain magical darkness powers, and they're pretty dang strong. And we use some to fight, you know, so our light to fight against it some, but it's really powerful. And we also have the ability that maybe, since it's been offered to us, maybe we should take it too. And so we do. And at this point, Guardians can now use both light and darkness powers. And some Guardians go off and be evil, but that's been happening for a while. And some Guardians just don't use the darkness at all because, hey, it's evil. And other Guardians, like us, go, I mean, it's a hammer. I'm gonna, you know, if I need a hammer, I'll use the tool. It's not the hammer's fault. The end.
So we got the bad ending.
Well, that's the thing. It's an evolving world that keeps going. So, that's just where we're at now. And
does that mean we have to do an episode of this every time they release a new DLC?
No. Absolutely not. If we were gonna do that sort of shit, we would have ended at the end of Destiny 1. We'd be like, there's Destiny 1. Goodbye.
Alright, everyone, here's what you need to know about Destiny. It's all text because there's too much for me to draw. There's one picture down here that you can...
Yeah, you didn't even draw Marasov's feet.
I don't know what they look like. Google didn't tell me.
I bet I could look up a picture for you if you wanted.
I mean, you just find her in-game model and rotate it. I like how completely illegible this is, but I do see the word wizards with no other text on top of it.
I like just steal. Yeah, and there's the worm with the blood dripping out of its mouth. I like that. That's a good picture.
Wait, did you think it was blood dripping out of his mouth?
Yeah. What? Did I miss that?
It's a beard! And he's got glasses and he's saying, "Get off my lawn! You said they're ancient!"
Oh, gotcha. Now it makes more sense. I thought it was like, that's why I said the rabbit of Kerbanok. Because,
oh!
You know.
Yeah, I was wondering why you said that. No, that's a beard.
Okay, yeah. Way more sense. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Get off my lawn. You know, actually... Here, I'll give him a cane to make it more obvious.
Alright, do you have any questions besides, what did any of the things that I said mean?
Shaking a fist now. Whippersnappers. I have a question. Did anyone try when they wrote this?
Did anyone try what?
Did they try when they wrote this?
Oh, well.
Like, the light in the dark, it's just the Force.
Yeah, I mean...
It's the Force, except there's actual physical representations of them.
So, Bungie entered into a partnership with Activision when they made this game. And they had this really, really nuanced story where there really was a question, is the Traveler good or is the Traveler evil? There were more interesting questions. And then Activision had a problem with some of those questions and basically told them to not do any of the things they wanted to do. And they took bits and pieces of that story and turned it into a thing. So Destiny 1, there was no significant story. Like, what I said is like the bare bones of like what happened.
It's not plot, it's the things that happen.
Correct. Yeah. That's why when I got to Destiny 2, I was able to actually like talk more about certain things. Most of the information I gave you about the races and stuff came from Destiny 2.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Because like everything in Destiny 1, it was like, here's the playing the game, and then if you want more information, you can like get these randomly dropping grimoire cards, they call them, where it's like little bits of story and plot and lore that you have to read on a different website. So like, you don't even get your story in game. You have to go somewhere else to find anything that you earned in game by doing, like, it was a terrible idea. So, yeah, the story was borked from the beginning, and then, honestly, the modern story is significantly better, and they're doing a much better job of it. If you can get past all the hand-waving you have to do to understand everything else.
I really like this drawing I did of the astronaut. I really like the angle that I got with it. It looks like a low poly PS1 render.
Could you do a backpack on it? Because don't they have backpacks?
I think some of them.
Yeah. The only ones I can think of do, but you're probably right, because I've never played Among Us. Yeah, but, okay, again, like, if you really want more story about it, there's 2 suggestions I have. 1,
Oh, I don't.
go watch Bife's video, or 2, play the game. And if you don't care about the story at all and you still have no understandings of it, that's fine. The game's fun because you shoot things and their heads explode.
Here's the reason why it's fun. You can shoot things in low gravity. That's why it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically like I can't play Tribes Ascend anymore, but Destiny's here.
Yeah.
God, I miss skiing in Tribes. That was fun.
I never played Tribes, but I did play Tribes Ascend, and it was a good game.
I just remember, like, the movement in that game felt so good, and it was impossible to shoot anybody.
So, yep. That was Destiny.
Are you as upset as I am? I thought we did Star Wars last week, but here we are.
Hey, I'll be honest. The sci-fi on this is no better than Star Wars, but at least we didn't have somehow Palpatine is back.
I gotta screenshot this one section here for Tim.
Yep. All right. Hey, and we made it under time.
Wish we didn't. Wish we didn't make it at all. Oh, I'm supposed to ask you why swords use ammo.
The other question you were supposed to ask me, because Tim told me this, was about Vex Milk.
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna ask that one.
Yeah. Thank you. Because, yeah. So anyways, there's no answer.
Yeah, I don't think so.
There's no reason why swords should use ammo. It's not even like they're laser swords or lightsabers or anything. They're just, because especially since, like, it makes sense if they were lightsabers, because once you run out of ammo, you can still use the sword. It just doesn't do quite as much damage, and you, like, swing it slower.
It doesn't vibrate anymore.
You're right. It's a vibroblade.
Yeah. So like you can still beat the shit out of someone with a vibroblade, but it doesn't cut through them as well. It's not. Yeah. It's not as cool.
Yeah, that's a better explanation than I've heard anyone else use.
I can't believe no one else has thought of that. That's the first thing I thought of.
Well, I mean, I've never actually looked up the question, so I've only seen like a couple Reddit.
That's probably because you were like, well, I'll get a really dumb answer if I look it up.
Yeah, the only things I've seen were like the couple Reddit posts that were like, hey, why does this happen? And everyone's like, yeah, it's stupid.
I mean, that's most of this. I don't even remember what Rhino Man's said. Like, I wasn't listening, so I just heard Dominatrix Maximus because I know it started with Dom.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much close enough.
I think what's worse about this than any of the other things I've done so far is how many parentheticals there are and how many of them are basically just saying, I wasn't listening for this part. That
is perfectly fine.
I just, like, every time, like, for real, this is, like, my issue with sci-fi as a genre is that, like, I don't think it is inherently bad, and I don't blame people for liking it, but, like, because of my attention span, I'm just, like, 90% of this is just, like, hand-wavy explanations and don't ask questions, and that's it.
Hey, so, Dominic,
yeah.
I genuinely believe this. You know more about the game than at least half of the players at this point.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't play it.
You know more about the game, and that's with you not paying attention to 90% of the things that I said in this video.
Yeah.
Like, knowing the 10% that made it through, you know more. So.
Yeah, and because of it, I will never play again.
All right.
I didn't even write time travel magic. I just wrote she made Groundhog Day.
You know what? That's good.
But, honestly, there's a lot of hidden gems in this week's like things, and I'm glad that you missed a lot of them. Yeah, Crota ate the moon once or something.
Alright.
Well, now, if any of you guys out there need to explain Destiny to your friends, just show them this.
That video.
Screenshot this.
Oh.
And send it to them.